Hi and welcome to this episode, which is all about our new kitchen garden area. And we're calling it a kitchen garden because Pete doesn't like the word allotment.
Makes me feel old.
Sometimes we do feel old, Pete, doing all this manual labour.
We're retired.
So here we are. This is an opening Mark II to the episode, and it's about how the name has changed. So it was going to be initially allotment, then we decided, or Pete decided he didn't like allotment, so it was going to be kitchen garden.
Because I'm not that old.
Because he doesn't want to feel old. Any older than necessary. And now we've gone with the Italian name for kitchen garden, which is Orto. O-R-T-O, Orto. So we need to call it Orto. And throughout the video, because it was 5 and 6 months ago, you'll see us using kitchen garden, but it is actually now an Orto.
We've been here almost, 2 years, 3 years now, and we finally come up with our plan for the kitchen garden area, not the allotment, because I'm not that old. So this, I'm going to walk you through what we're thinking of and what we're thinking of doing in our area here.
So it's not quite a walled kitchen garden, it's a fenced kitchen garden. And the fencing, which there'll be a separate episode about, the fencing will run down this wall and not along the back wall. It will actually carry on straight. And so the fencing will be about my height. It's chain link fencing. So in theory, the climbers can grow up it. But along here, instead of climbers, the idea is that we're going to plant plants that will attract pollinators like lavender and rosemary, dry garden plants, along the outside of the fence so that we can have an edging to it and also bring in the nature that will hopefully benefit the kitchen garden as much as it will the pollinators.
What we've decided to do is to actually make 3 main beds separated from each other on the area. So there's going to be one large bed here. And then we're going to have a second bed that goes down to the end, and a third bed that'll go down to the end here. In the middle here, like we've done on the dry garden, we've dug the paths down, filled it with rock and sand, so when it rains, water goes down and underneath. So it's worked really well in the dry gardening area, so I'm going to replicate it here by having a path, and I'm just filling it up with some rocks first before I go coarse sand and breccia on top. So Sally, when she walks down here, or I walk down here when it's wet and muddy, we're not going to get our feet covered on it. But the other thing is when it rains, the rain will go down and underneath, so the plant roots will go down towards the water.
That means I won't have to use these upturned containers anymore, isn't that right?
Should be.
Because look, I've got chili peppers and an aubergine. Look, 1 aubergine and little green peppers, and amazingly tomatoes, which have survived without any water while we've been away all over the summer. Looking a bit sad, but they're still going.
Part of the plan is for when we get the remnants of what we've grown here, is we're going to put an open composting area here. So I'm going to dig this out and make an open netted composting area so we can actually compost next to the kitchen garden area and then reuse that compost back into the land here. Next to it, we're going to have Sally's favourite rotating composter.
Yay!
And then to the left of this, you notice I've got the 4 IBC containers currently. There's 4,000 litres of water in there, which is collected off the garage roof and the lavanderia roof. I'm going to extend the water system here, so I'm probably going to have another 2,000 or 3,000 litres here, so make it 7,000 litres in total. I'm going to put a separate irrigation pump in, and then I'm going to micro irrigate the 3 different areas of the kitchen garden area. So Sally will be able to turn on or off micro irrigation separately to the 3 separate areas with different strings on it, which means that we can minimize the water usage but actually maximize the yield from the kitchen garden area, and it'll all be from water collected from the 2 roofs, rainwater, which would be really good.
Yay!
This is the back, which was going to be fenced in, but now it's going to be open because we're going to fence in the whole area just around here. This is our colonnetta, and the kitchen garden area is just off to my left. I'm going to build some steps that come over the top, and then because for mud and for other reasons, I'm going to dig in a path full of breccia, a nice gravel path that will take us all the way around to actually get into the kitchen garden area, which then allow again for drainage, and actually it'd be nice to break it up. The other thing that we're going to be doing is the fence itself. It's about as tall as Sally.
Which isn't very tall. And apparently I'm shrinking.
She's shrinking. But it's going to come along the side here, then it's going to cut in, and we're going to go round the side of the colonnetta. So this whole area that we're talking about now is an extension to the fenced area. We were only going to fence the internal wall, but what we're going to do is we're going to dig in the fence to try and keep critters out and stuff that might want to eat the vegetables that we're growing. And we thought that was a really good idea because there's not a lot else around and they'll come in and munch it. So we're going to fence it in basically to try and protect the stuff that we're growing.
So this is where we're doing the work for the path. It circles around the edge of the colonnetta, sunset hillock, but it's mainly the path towards the kitchen garden that we're doing this for. So he's going to level and move the sand for us. This would have literally taken us days to do if we'd done it ourselves by hand. So I think he's going to be finished, the whole lot, trees and paths and things, within 2 hours, €70. And it would have taken us days, wouldn't it taken us days? Weeks even, that we don't have because we can't be here all the time. So yeah, this is working out really well so far, getting someone in to do the work. And he's already dug a trench here for the soakaway from the pool, and next I'm guessing we'll be on to doing the fence line, which Pete has marked out. We're on to making the path towards the kitchen area, so kitchen garden even. He's done this bit, he's finished this bit, flattened the sand for us, and now he's making the path over to where we're going to plant our veggies. Yeah, the soil that's coming up is really good quality soil, so we're going to be reusing that in the allotment, which would be great. This is the area where we're going to put the 2 Hippo water tanks, 1,000 litres each, and Pete's going to put gravel and make sure that they're level once he's got it down. I think he wants to take it to bedrock to make sure that we can build up from there. But this is this sort of watering, two 1,000 litres he's going to put down. This rather weird stray dog has pitched up, taking an interest in it. That's not a dog that I want to go near.
So structurally, it's as we said it was going to be, but actually we've made it slightly bigger. We had so much earth that this bed here is increased in size and increased in depth, which is really good for all the stuff that Sally's going to grow in there. The one over here as well, Sally saw we had the opportunity to increase the size of this bed as well, and we also had a lot more earth. So we've increased the size of this bed and again put more earth on the top. And the bed down the back here, which runs all the way down, again has been increased in depth, which again is going to be great for the plants. And we've finished the path, and it's worked so well in that dry garden that hopefully when it rains it goes down, really do well for it.
When you say we've finished the paths, can I just add that if it hadn't been for Harriet and Floyd, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. And here are some pictures of the work being done. It was a lot of slogging by two women for a couple of days. And the paths are done apart from prettying them up around the edges.
And here's the pictures.
So it's April now, 6 months after the paths were dug and the excavator did all its work, and it's prime planting month in Italy because you need to get in while it's warm but before it gets too hot and everything dies. So I have now planted, I think we worked it out yesterday, 12 different types of vegetables yesterday, and within those quite a few different varieties. So I've got 20 cabbages, variegated cabbages here, various sorts. I've got 2 different types of climbing beans, and over here another 2 different types of climbing beans. I have put some French beans, dwarf French beans in this area here, and coming around this way, oh sorry, here's my little mini, it's like a mini herby patch I suppose. So I've got curly parsley in this bit, I've got spring onions in this bit, dill, I've got wild rocket here, I've got chives, I've got flat parsley, flat leaf parsley. Within this bit I've got 2 different types of carrots. And then on this side of all of that, I've got several different types of spinach and 2 different types of beetroot. And then over here I've got courgettes. See, something's already, the animals pick up the tabs. I've never so that goes there basically.
And what's your plan for the big bed?
My plan here, this isn't planted yet, but because when we get back in, we get, I'm missing a bean. Oh no, it's there, sorry.
Concentrate.
When we get back from this trip, it'll be early May, and my plan then is to stick in the plug plants, not seeds, because I'm too late for seeds, plug plants of tomatoes, peppers, hot chili peppers and aubergines, because they did really well in this area last year. So and the ground is even higher this year, so I've got every reason to think that they'll do well again. I'm waiting for some rain. I haven't watered it yet, but apparently it's on the forecast for today.
Today, hopefully.
But hopefully these things will just start to germinate, and when I get back I can then water them regularly.
Just it says in the country.
It's just Tommaso next door is using his chainsaw at the wrong time on a Sunday morning. We don't mind, we'll carry on. Thank you ever so much for watching this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, do give us a thumbs up. Please leave a comment or questions in the section. And if you'd like to subscribe, we'd love it if you carried on following us on our journey at La Bolla.